I was saying these are like the first interviews I've done in like 3 years. I'm so happy to be back.
Oh, well. We're happy to have you back. It's been too long in our opinion, but we know you needed the break. You needed the rest.
Absolutely. How are you guys doing? Everything good?
Everything's good. I mean, it's as good as it can be during a pandemic. You know, that's as
For sure.
We're really excited about your new single, Bad Habits, man. I'm glad that you're finally hitting us with that new music. We've been waiting.
Thank you. I mean, I wrote a lot of songs to kind of whittle them down to this point. So, you know, if it doesn't work, then...
You had said at the start of the pandemic last year that you were going to write one song per day. Did you actually do that?
Yeah, I ended up like maybe like 3 or 4 a day. I had like... There was loads of stuff going on in my life, good and bad, and there was lots of stuff to pull from, basically.
So you have over 1,000 songs just waiting?
I wouldn't say 1,000 songs waiting, because probably like 950 of them are dreadful. But yeah, there's definitely, I probably have about 300 songs, new songs on my hard drive that like I've picked 14 from, kind of thing.
So who's the first ears that get to hear these songs that you say are dreadful? Do you play them for your wife first and then you pass them on to your producers?
Well, no, this is the thing, because like I usually on Divide and Multiply and Plus, you know, I would like invite people round, we'd have dinner, we'd have beers, I'd play them the album, I'd gauge which ones are good or not. But like, because we've obviously been in a pandemic, I haven't been able to do that. And so now I've chosen the album kind of myself, and now I'm kind of playing it to people. Now I'm in Los Angeles and sort of it's nice, I'm kind of getting validation on my choices, because people are like, oh, we like there's one song people don't like unanimously, so that's coming off. But yeah, other than that, it feels good to be playing it. It's just been it's been a different process of making an album this time.
Now I remember Kid Craddock bragged forever about how you did that at his apartment. You brought over your album.
I did. Do you know what? He was the first guy that I knew with a Tesla. I remember being in his car, and he was like, do you know what a Tesla is? And you know, I'd never seen an electric car in my life, and it had that huge screen in the middle of it, being so impressed. But I remember we went and I played him the whole of the second album. Yeah, such a wonderful guy, man. It's such a, I'm so glad that you guys are kind of carrying on the name and like keeping the legacy alive.
Well, when we got friends like you, it makes it easy, you know, when you come on
Sure.
our show. Right. Now, speaking of bad habits, you know, over the last year or so, did you pick up any habits, any new things that you started messing around with?
Do you know, so Bad Habits was actually written on reflection of, so the kind of concept of the song is all your good intentions are pure at the start of a Friday night. You know, you're like, I'm going to go for 1 beer, I'm going to have a salad, and then suddenly it's like 4 beers in, tequila's come out, then it's Jaeger bombs, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're kind of dribbling on a like McChicken sandwich. You know, it's I find you know, bad habits just lead to other bad habits. But ironically, since becoming a father, like my bad habits have kind of gone a bit dormant. Like I love red wine and I like beer, but I haven't really touched spirits in about a year at all.
Since becoming a new dad, you've been mostly at home, like everybody has been, but with new music, new album, you're going to have to start touring again.
Yeah.
So what's the tour going to look like with baby on board?
So, you know, the pandemic, obviously, I mean, you guys are working from home now, but my wife's job went from being in the office to being able to work remotely. So I think the plan is her and my daughter come on the road with us. But, you know, for the first year, we're pretty much in England and Europe, so I can base myself at home. And then the next year, I think we're in America, and America's a wonderful place. Whenever I tour here, I live in Nashville, but you know, we might choose a different city this time. And I think it's just nice to have a like home base somewhere. So I think touring before, I employed like 5 of my best mates, and we just like partied around the world and we lived our 20s basically. We had the best time. But I think touring this time will just be more of a wholesome family atmosphere.
Well, you got 5 of your best mates right here on this.
Let's do it.
You talk about party right here.
You know how it goes.
I'm in.
Do you think that, because like I'm so excited for concerts to be back and music festivals, I've already started buying tickets to everything. But do you think that post-pandemic, like the touring, the live concert atmosphere is just going to be any different?
I think the way it'll be different is more people will be wanting to go to shows. Like no one's going to take a live gig or a football game or a basketball. No one's taking that for granted anymore. As soon as like restaurants just opened in England and they are jam-packed. Like all restaurants are booked every single day because people are like, do you know what? Someone likened it to? And it's mad that it's 100 years after, but the Roaring Twenties in 1920s, there was a pandemic, there was the Spanish flu, there was the First World War, And then they got out of both of them, and people, you look at the pictures, everyone dresses up every single night and they go out to fancy restaurants and they're drinking cocktails and and it's going to be that. People are going to be so pleased that they can go to a concert or go to a sports game or go to a restaurant. I just think more people are going to do it and appreciate it. You know, I feel like I went to... I went to a football game when I went to Australia for my friend's memorial and ended up being able to go to a football game there, and the vibe was just electric, like really, really good. So I think it's...
I'm wondering, you know, because we're on the radio and we used to have artists come by all the time and perform for us like you did when you were first coming out, and we're thinking selfishly, is that going to go away because of the way things are now? Are we going to still be able to have that one-on-one?
Of course, yeah. I think things just take a while to get back, don't they? I think definitely. I think like people want all the things that they had before, and when those things come back, people are just going to appreciate them more, I think.
Yeah.
So Ed is coming to studio. Let me mark that down.
Yeah, mark it down. I think he just said he'll be there in about a month.
100%. No, I'm back in America quite a lot now. I mean, like your government, thankfully, have let me in, and I've managed to get a visa. So I'm going to be here a lot.
The government loves you, Ed.
Thank you.
And if they ever say no, Ed, I wanted to ask you about, I saw this article where you said your daughter cries when you sing to her. And I just thought to myself, is Ed's daughter broken? Did she stop crying yet?
No, she's fine. Do you know what? I said that, but she was like she's a little bit older now. And it was more like singing loudly, I think, scared her. So it's more, you know, I've written some gentle songs for the record. So I sing a lot in the kitchen. So
you sing your music. That was going to be my question. You don't sing lullabies. You sing your own songs, Sarah?
No, I sing other songs. I sing a lot of Irish folk music to her because that's what I was brought up on. Yeah, I sing lots.
I love like when Beyonce uses Blue Ivy in her music, and I think Chris Martin has used his kids too. Are you going to use your baby in some of your music, maybe as background vocals or something?
No, absolutely not. No, I feel like different strokes for different folks. But I have a very, very private life, and you know, I only kind of like put her name out there because it had already leaked to the press, and I wanted to be the one to own that story. And you know, no one actually knew we were having a baby until it was leaked to the press. So like, I'm not like, there's me as an artist and my stage name, which happens to also be my name, obviously, and then there's my family, and like should have the choice. Like if she wants to do it when she's older, she can, but I'm not going to bring her into my world. My world is so like I can handle it now, but like I couldn't handle it 5 years ago even, and I was like 25, like, and she's just born. I'm not going to put that on her at all.
Yeah. I love that you do
one
that.
and done, or you're gonna have about 4 or 5 more.
Now that's personal.
Do you know what? If I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to have one, and if she's enough for us, but if we're lucky enough to have more, it'll be great.
Now, you saying you're in the U.S. Everybody by now has seen the video of you doing the Friends dance. With
Yeah.
Were you staying at her house? Is that how? Do you stay there when you're visiting?
Yeah, so that's a mad story actually. When I was playing the Nokia Theatre in Los Angeles in 2013, and she's now a singer, Charlotte Lawrence, but her dad brought her to my show. She was like 10 or 11, I think. So I took a picture with her, met her, and then the next day I was out for dinner, and her mum came up to me, Krista, and said, my friend is having, she didn't say Courtney, she said, my friend's having a barbecue, do you want to come? I was like, cool. So I turned up and I was like, oh, Courtney Cox, cool. And like, you know, I'm like a massive Friends fan. So she has guitars there, she likes people jamming, so I sort of jammed along. And she was like, do you want to crash here? She lived in Malibu, and it was like a way out. So I stayed there and then just kind of didn't leave. And I stayed there every single time I've been in Los Angeles since then. And I introduced her to my best friend, who's now her boyfriend. They've been dating for about 7 or 8 years. And you know, she stays at my house when she comes to England. And I feel like, for me, America, I often feel quite out of place in America because of the English thing. And it's like, even though we do speak the same language, there's massive cultural differences. And I feel like it's a home away from home for me. I feel like it's my American family, basically. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. But yeah, we were watching, I arrived the day of the reunion, and we were watching the reunion, and she was kind of like, would you want to do the routine with me? And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I would.
Remembered it after all these years. That's a long time ago.
No, we definitely practiced it quite a lot.
Because I didn't, following, a lot of people I didn't used to follow on Instagram. I have been lately, and I didn't know how she played piano. Her daughter sings. I mean,
Yeah, man, she's great, and she cooks. She is an amazing cook. She's an amazing cook. But no, we practiced it kind of that night, but we had a bit of wine, and we were a bit sort of like not good. And then the next day, I was kind of like, no, we need to sit. If we're going to do this, we've got to do it right. Like, there's going to be so many Friends fans watching it, being like, he got this bit wrong, or he didn't do this bit right. So yeah, we had to get it spot on.
Well, it was good until the end when you didn't quite catch her.
Well, I think that kind of like sort of for me that made the video. It was funny, yeah.
I thought it was great. Now, I saw that you made a return to social media. You're on TikTok, a little active on TikTok. When you take your breaks, do you still dive in and kind of see what people are doing it, or are you completely shut off?
Yeah, I'm kind of like shut off to. There's a few like. Basically, like UK culture, I try to stay on top of because I've been sort of plugged into that since I was like 14, 15. So I sort of like. I try and keep on top of that and know who the new artists coming through and stuff because you never want to be like completely out of it. But other than that, yeah, I'm like, I kind of feel, especially now, like I want to be able to give my time to my friends and family. I've been away for so long that I don't want to be like not present when I'm with them and sort of flicking through things. So it's very, very sporadic, like now and then. But TikTok's a funny one because I've kind of been gone and not really noticed the kind of rise with that. And it's such an integral part of the music industry now that I'm sort of trying to catch up and learn.
Well, I guarantee you'll be hearing Ed's new song, Bad Habits, on TikTok and everywhere that music is played because it's a jam. And Ed, we say this every time we talk to you, man. You have not changed since the first day we met you. You're still the same humble dude.
Thank you.
How successful or how well you're doing, you're still the same guy that we met that first day.
Oh man, well, yeah, well, thank you, and I've got so much love for you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys in person.
Over for a barbecue when next time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you. No one does barbecue like Texas.
Love you.